Have you been noticing it? Gas prices are going up. But why? Good question. I will give you the answer in just a second. But first, I want to thank my TikTok subscribers for voting for this story as the bonus this week. If you want to vote too, the only way to do that is to subscribe to my page during my next live event. So what's happening with these gas prices? Well, it's complicated. And anyone who tells you it's one single thing causing all this doesn't understand how gasoline and oil works. So if you really want to understand the big picture of what's happening, I'm going to explain it all to you in a lot of detail in this video. And I really want you to watch the whole thing. So if you're not in a space right now to do that, I get it. Save this video, favorite it, do whatever you have to do to come back to it when you're in the right space to watch it. First, let's talk about actual gas prices. The national average for a gallon of regular, according to AAA, has hit the highest level in 10 months, $3.88. Now, before you start screaming in the comments that that number is fake and that's not the price of gas in your neighborhood, take a breath. It's entirely possible that gasoline is more expensive in your area. But listen to what I just said, the national average. That means AAA looked at the price for a gallon of regular gas at literally every station in every state in the United States, did the math, and found the average cost. That number is $3.88. But yeah, when you look at the map of the whole United States, you can see the West Coast, Illinois, Florida, the Northeast are all averaging above $3.88 a gallon. But when you look at Midwest, Southwest, Southeast, you can see all those states are averaging far less than $3.88. So now that we're all clear on what the words national average means, let's move on to the rest of the facts. $3.88 is 31 cents more per gallon than it was just 1 month ago. That's an 8% jump in just 30 days. Now, it's still less than what it was this time last year when the average price for a gallon of regular was $3.94. So what is causing the increase? Well, there are a few things. First, oil prices have jumped this summer. The price for crude oil accounts for about half of what we pay for a gallon of gas. At the time I'm recording this video today, the price for a barrel of oil is $80.13, which is high for sure, but it's definitely down from last week when it was $83.71. But both of those prices are still far above what it was at the beginning of the summer. Check out May 31st when it was $68.09. Now, just for some context, the price of oil that we're dealing with today is still far less than what we were dealing with a year ago. You can see today, $80.13. But a year ago, August 29 of 2022, the price for a barrel of oil was $97.01. So why are these prices popping up? I told you in several videos a few months ago that Russia and OPEC Plus have drastically cut oil production and supply. In fact, the most recent production cut of 1 million barrels a day went into effect in July. And that wasn't the only huge cut this year, and it may not be the last. Cuts like that reduce the amount of usable oil on the global oil market. And even though the United States does not get oil from Russia, oil is a global commodity, and if there is a disruption or reduction of supply in one part of the world, it impacts the entire world. By now, you're probably thinking, well, why aren't we pumping more oil in America? We are. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, you can see this graph here shows U.S. crude oil production since 1920. You can see it has drastically ramped up. And as of the most recent reading, which was May of 2023, you can see the U.S. was producing 12.6 million barrels of crude oil a day, which was nearly as much as the peak that we have ever produced, which is in November of 2019 when we were producing 13 million barrels a day. But there's something else worth mentioning when it comes to U.S. oil companies. Record profits. U.S. oil company profits have been astronomical in the last year. In 2022, they all hit major records, and in totality, the big oil companies, ExxonMobil, Shell, and Chevron, raked in more than $135 billion in just 1 year. Now, it's true their costs are higher this year because, as I just showed you, they have been cranking up production in 2023. But at the same time, they are also raining money on shareholders with dividends and buybacks. And when all that money is going out, the U.S. oil companies say it gets harder to keep investing in new and more oil production in the United States. And there's one last key factor in these price increases to point out. The largest oil refinery in the Midwest is right now dealing with maintenance issues, and all of the refineries in the U.S. are struggling with operations in this extreme summer heat that we've been seeing. Not to mention, we are still in the summer driving season. Gas prices usually increase during the summertime because more people are on the road using gasoline, and summer blends of gasoline are also more expensive.